What's going on, Sports Wars? It's your coach, Big Ooch, and we're here today to talk more about the offensive line. Now, when we talk about playing O-line in the NFL, we're talking about a position where you have to show aggression, where you have to be under control, where you got to come out like a scalded bat out of hell and hit the man across the line of scrimmage. And when we talk about one of the best in the league at doing that, we talk about a man by the name of Trent Williams. If you don't know who Trent Williams is, we're going to show you right now. Let's look at the film from a lineman that knows how to get it done in the trenches. Top of your screen, left tackle, Trent Williams, a dominator. Look at the man. He comes off the line, he fires out, and he lays out the linebacker cold, bold, and still. This man got his radar up, but he don't even know what's coming for him. Big Trent fires off the ball full speed and lays him out. That's what you do when you're an O-lineman that plays with purpose, that plays with aggression, that plays with passion. That's Trent Williams from the San Francisco 49ers. Now let's hop to it. We're going to talk about the three worst offensive lines when it comes to giving up sacks in the NFL. The Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh Lord, we're going to take a look at how the pocket should be and how the pocket ends up when these offensive lines go out and give up the ghost when their quarterback is back in the pocket. Let's take a look at the first play coming from those Houston Texans in their game against the Baltimore Ravens. They're beat down and they're staying ground. Now let's take a look at these Houston Texans. What we're going to pay attention to here is the pocket. The pocket for the offensive line in the NFL should always consist of two major traits. The first is the depth of the pocket. That's going to be your interior three offensive linemen, your center and guards. They got to hold down the depth. Don't give up any push in the pocket with your tackles on both sides providing the width. And when they provide that width, they got to draw a line in the sand. You got to say that this defensive end, this linebacker, he is not getting past me. Not no way, not no how. And when we look at these tackles here, my goodness, son, you can't play football like that. You can't come off the line in a pass set where you're backpedaling like a defensive back. That's not going to work, son. And when we take a look at the pocket back there for Deshaun Watson, you can tell that those tackles are giving up the width of the pocket, getting pushed inside, causing the quarterback to have to try and step up, but he's got somebody in his face off the rip, and that's just not going to work in this league, son. We're professionals out here. Now on this play, you got your left tackle. He's backpedaling into his set. That's unacceptable for an offensive lineman. And what's worse, he's got a dumb running back there who don't realize he has 48, who's a blitzer, coming up the gap free. So when he gets the pressure, the quarterback can't step up to get inside of that tackle on the right side. And he gets sacked because he's got a free man coming through the line. The pressure was there too quick. The pressure was there too strong. You can't have that. You can't win like that, son. You got to get your hands on the man you want to block. You gotta know who you're gonna block. If you don't know who you're gonna block, well, NFL's gonna be not for long for you. My goodness, son, they already gave him $100 million and he's already ready to turn it back in. He wants to give it back because he can't be out here every week, week in and week out, getting body slammed, getting somersaulted, getting DDT'd. But let's take a look at our next team on the list. It's those Jaguars of Jacksonville. A Duval, yeah, buddy. But they got the mustache with the class, Mr. Gardner Minshew II. But he's not immune, boys. He's not immune from some bad O-line play. And we're going to take an in-depth look at them on this next play. 3rd and 13. When you're talking about a long distance down like this, you've got to be ready for one thing immediately on the offensive line, and that is defensive line stunts and games. And that's what you get here from these Miami Dolphins as they put a shellacking on these Jaguars O-line. You got a linebacker and a nose tackle running a TE game. And when you got that kind of game being run against you, it's of the utmost importance that your guard smashes that penetrating linebacker into that defensive tackle. There is no way on God's green earth that you should allow a linebacker that's 230 pounds to push through a center because he's coming on a stunt. But to start, let's look at both our offensive tackles. They're both turned to the sidelines, hands wide and outside. They don't have a chance. You got to get your hands inside, you got to get your eyes up, and you got to strike the man when you want to block him in pass protection. You can't just patter pat and put your hands on his shoulders. He's going to leverage right through your chest, and that's what he did here on both sides of the line. But what's worse is that these boys allowed a 230-pound soaking wet linebacker to push through the center. Look at the left guard. His shoulders are turned, his hands are light, and when that linebacker penetrates, he doesn't have a chance. The center gets knocked clean off his base, and he gets pushed out of the way while that linebacker slides up in the middle like a horny toad on a first date. He slides right up in that gap. It's 3rd and long, son. You gotta expect the tricky dicky. You can't let no lightning-ass linebacker just penetrate through your offensive line like that, son. What do you think this is? This ain't no FCA meeting, son. We're not shaking hands, we're breaking backs. Now this is the problem that you cannot have as an offensive lineman when you're sitting at the center or the guard position. When you get your hands on that linebacker, when he's trying to penetrate, you should strike him right in to that defensive tackle. There shouldn't be a chance in hell that he comes free on your quarterback. And that's what he does right here. And that shows you that these offensive linemen have no idea what they're out there doing. And Minshew pays the price, getting ate up like chum in ocean water with sharks a-circling. These boys didn't have a clue how to protect their QB, and they lost the ball because of it. And that's what happens when you're not ready for the showtime. You can't play like that. You just can't do it. And last, but certainly not least, we got those Philadelphia Eagles. My goodness, son, you just can't play like that at the right guard position. What we're about to see here is illegal in 23 states across the union. You got the right guard, number 67. He's supposed to be setting on this 3 technique, but my goodness, son, you can't just give up the goods without them buying you dinner first. My goodness, what's going on here? Look at him. He's turned to the sideline as soon as the ball snaps. You got your legs open just giving up the goods, and it ain't even your birthday, son. You can't do that. Your tackle's trying to stay with you. He's got the vertical set with his arm up for presence, trying to keep you from getting overwhelmed immediately, but the man can't do you no good if you're just gonna open up them legs and let them gifts out like it's Christmas morning, son. My goodness, son, you look like a roll of wet toilet paper the way he done turned you and burned you. Sweet mother of Jesus, you gotta be kidding me, son. Carson Wentz don't stand a chance. Look at him, he's ready to run for his life, but he ain't got no fight. These boys lifted him up and they gave him the nip and tuck. My God, son, you gotta play better than that at right guard. You are the weakest link. Coach Ooch is gonna be here each and every week to break down the mishaps, but also giving you the goods on how it's supposed to work for the O-line. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to Sports Wars, and Coach Ooch will catch y'all on the next one. Ooch out.